team needs a win the most this week?
No, it's got to be the Patriots, Greeny. Look, they're 2 games behind Buffalo in the division. Right now, they're on the outside looking in. If the playoffs started today from a wild card perspective, they've got to get a win. They've got to right now, and more so than just get a win, they've got to establish the fact that they can actually beat one of the heavyweights in the NFL. And Dallas right now is considered one of the heavyweights.
Absolutely. We'll talk more about that game as we continue. Meanwhile, Bart, give me a team you could see surprising this week.
The Tennessee Titans, right? They're going against the Buffalo Bills. They're feeling good about themselves. They built their team to destroy the Kansas City Chiefs, and they did that from a pass rush perspective. But I tell you what, a guy like King Henry takes all that away. And then when you drop that 8th man in the box, Julio and AJ is going to be primed and ready to make you pay. I think this is a sneaky matchup, and I think that Tennessee could pull off the upset, Greeny.
Lewis will have that game Monday night, and it's a good one on Monday Night Football. Kmart, what's your must-watch matchup this weekend?
I'm going to surprise you, Greeny. It is Terry McLaurin against the Chiefs secondary.
Barbecue chicken.
McLaurin, one of the most dangerous young receivers in the game, wherever he is, whatever down it is, he is a threat in the Chiefs secondary. Woo, boy, has not been good.
No, they've been bad.
No.
And that has obviously contributed to the Chiefs having gotten off to the disappointing start with all of the expectations. And you were there to watch it the other night. Patrick Mahomes expressing some frustration with the way things have gone. Here he was talking about it yesterday.
You just tinker with things here and there. I mean, you don't want to lose yourself. You don't want to lose the things that you've done so well, so long. But at the same time, I got to make sure that I'm firm with my fundamentals. I make sure that I stay within the pocket, go back to the basics, and make sure I perfect those things. And then I think everything else will kind of come along with it. Once you make turnovers, it kind of ruins everything. It takes that great offense that we can be and just really just knocks it down to a very average one.
So, Kimberly, you were there on Sunday night to see it. And what did you observe in Patrick?
Greeny, when I say I was there from 9:30 in the morning, Kansas City outside the stadium, to 2:30 in the morning because of that rain delay. And what gets me is, do you see Patrick Mahomes' face? Do you see how beleaguered that child looks? Do you see, like, he looks like so beaten down, like it's crazy. Because this is what happens. Like, the Chiefs defense, honestly, is neutralizing the game's greatest weapon, aside from Lamar Jackson. They are playing so bad that Patrick Mahomes is pressing. He literally is trying to do too much. And after that game, he's looked so angry, so ticked off, so frustrated. And he's thinking about, I need to reevaluate what I'm doing. Patrick Mahomes, of all people, that's what worries me in Kansas City.
Is he pressing? That's the question, Louis Riddick. Is Patrick Mahomes trying to overcome too much with this team right now?
Absolutely he is. And I mean, and human nature would tell you, common sense would tell you, you can see why. I mean, you understand when you have a defense that's given up a historically bad 7 yards per play. I mean, that's just that's crazy. I mean, that's just crazy bad. And this is a guy who feels like every single time I'm out there, I have to put points on the board, and I need to put explosive points on the board, and I need to do it in a hurry because I don't know when I'm going to get the ball back again. And I know that every time I get the ball back, it's probably going to be at a deficit because my team's going to just have given up another touchdown and another one. And that'll start playing on people's minds. Look, there's no doubt that he, as he said, needs to dial back and go, look, first and foremost, I can't give it to the other team because I know what they're going to do with it once they get it. So how do I stop doing that? How can I make myself be more patient and not have to take shots against, and not want to take shots against umbrella, two safety high coverage all the time, and be more patient as far as taking the checkdowns, taking the intermediate throws. And number 3, we have to run the football now a little bit more. We have to run people out of this umbrella coverage and make it easier for me. So I'm sure he's frustrated about every damn thing. And that, you know what? That's the look that he has on his face. It's a bunch of things right now because this team is used to just gutting people. It's used to making it look like Madden, making it look easy. And now it's not like that. So they just need to go back to the drawing board. But he can't do anything about this defense, which I don't know what the answer is on that side of the ball.
He has never really gone through anything like this since he became the starter there. What does it all mean to you, Bart?
I mean, it's really they have to kind of reinvent themselves. Like, they have to establish a running game, develop a dynamic running game.
He was supposed to be, people were telling me as recently as 2 weeks ago that he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Well, listen, that's always fluid, right? We used to say that about Russell Wilson when he first got in the league. This game is about windows. Their window was open because he inherited a team that was ready to win. But as he continues to age and get older, like he's going to lose guys like Travis Kelce that's 32 years old. But the thing is, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers showed you the blueprint of how to compete with this football team. And they're saying, hey, listen, we're going to make him hand off the ball and move the ball methodically down the field, and we're going to make sure that we don't give up big explosive plays. Really, the player that they missed the most is a guy like Sammy Watkins that can make the opposing defense pay if you decide to double Kelce and you decide to double Tyreek Hill. So now they have to say, how do we run the ball and still manufacture explosive plays? Travis Kelce's never been one of these guys that runs up the seam, a vertical tight end. So now they're having to adjust. And this defense, you can't protect this defense anymore because it takes you 15 plays to get down the field, and then you look up and the defense gives up an explosive play. Then he's like, man, now I got to go back down the field. And eventually, tip balls change games.
You saw the stat that Hembo put up there. That defense has given up 20 touchdowns and forced 11 punts.
They've been
so
bad.
far in the season. That's a very bad ratio.
But they've been bad.
We will have more on them as we
bad.
go. In the meantime, let's get to the finals last night. Game of the night last night, unquestionably, Chicago-Phoenix Game 2, WNBA Finals, and it was a good one. Early first. How do you lose Brittany Griner? She's all alone down there, and she's throwing it down. It's the first ever dunk in a WNBA Finals game. It's the 19th of her career. She had 29 points and 9 rebounds. Now let's go to where this one was decided. Fourth quarter drama. Sky down 2, 10 seconds left. Where are you going for a bucket? Courtney Vandersloot finding space. It's up, it's good. We're tied at 79. We're going to overtime. And that is where the ageless one, Diana Taurasi, 39 years old, would take over. Look at her throwing it up from 3, plus the foul. And then later in the overtime, another 3 for Taurasi. She would score 20, and high fives all around. Members of the Suns are there to watch at CP3 and company as the Mercury win at 91-86. They even the finals at a game apiece. Game 3 is tomorrow night in Chicago. Tip-off 9 Eastern on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. Coming up, legendary Lamar, the Ravens quarterback, said something yesterday that should scare every defense in the sport. You will hear it coming up next. Plus,